All right, my dear, I'm going to mute now. Okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Brenda, could you get on mute, please?
Sorry about that.
I have nothing to say. How come it's doing that? Come on, what's up on? Never mind. Come on. Hello and welcome. Hello, my name is Lenny Godfrey, and Essence of Acting is presenting to you this afternoon monologues and scenes from various particular pieces that we have been working from. Now, you will see that I think you should see that I have with me several people who are on the screen. They are participants of the scenes that we will be doing a little bit later. But first, what I'd really like to do is I'd like to share with you a number of monologues that we've prepared earlier in the season. And because there have been some issues with transition during the rehearsals, we have videoed them. And now, since we want to ensure that you see them without interruption, I'm going to share with you 3 videos. I'm going to make sure that you have the opportunity to see them without any interruption. I would like to introduce you to the first one. It is done by Donald Hyman. He will introduce himself and he will introduce his monologue. So why don't we get that started? And here is the first introduction by Donald.
Hi, I'm Don Hyman, and I'm going to be doing a very special piece that's kind of enchanting and very charming at the same time. I was at a free book giveaway, and I discovered this book by Helene Stupinski. It's called Five Finger Discount. And it's about her growing up in Jersey City, New Jersey. And she talks about the characters and the people in her neighborhood and a subject that we all can kind of, identify with it. So sit back and relax, and here we go.
And now we will have Donald's presentation.
When I was born in 1965, my whole family called up Uncle Henry to play my birth weight, 5 pounds, 7 ounces. Most of them played 507, all except Aunt Terry, who played 057, and she played it straight. Well, the next day, they all ran down to the corner store to get the Daily News, and there, on page 72 at the bottom, were the 3 digits of the mutual handle, 057. They all hit because they played it boxed and straight, all except Aunt Terry, who played it straight and was the biggest winner. And with her winnings, she went out and bought her little nephew an expensive red snowsuit. Thanks, Aunt Terry.
And that is Donald. Thank you very much. Yes, there's a raised hand that we have. Well, thank you so very much, everybody who's come in and is viewing this. Do we have any questions? Franz, are we free of questions on that monologue?
I don't see anything in the Q&A right now.
All right, so I'm going to move on. I think it's really, this next one is a monologue from the scene that you saw the last time that we presented our scenes. And that was from Charles White's The Dupriest Tea Incident. And now we're going to have Valeska Cambron really introduce herself and introduce her work.
Hi, I'm Valeska Cambron, and I'll be doing a monologue where I play the character Jessie Dupriest. This is my house, not the White House. When you are a guest here, you will not insult me or my husband because you don't agree with something we've done or you think you can do it better. I don't care how many times you meet with the president, how many books you've written, how many colleges you run or commissions you chair. We are all in the same struggle doing the best we can. If my attendance at the White House tea is my contribution to the struggle, I'm proud I was able to do it, and I'll do it every year we're here in Washington. I don't care about Senator Blease or any other Southern Democrat fighting to hold us down. I will not be humble because they think it is our place to be humble. If you have a problem with that, the door is over there.
Nice work, Valeska. And now the last of my entries is from our newest member, Miss Eternanda Fudge, who is at presently, I believe, in either Utah or Arizona. She's around, so we'll ask her a little bit later. And she is now doing a monologue from the August Wilson play, 7 Guitars. It is the monologue from Vera. Am I understanding? Can everyone see this?
Everyone is having a problem seeing the video, Lenny.
Oh, all right. I don't know, but everyone saw the first video, correct?
No, they're telling me that they didn't.
Okay, let's just see why. All right, let me go back. Oh, that's a shame. You know, are you all seeing it?
No, they can hear it, but they can't see it. I'm getting
And
messages.
what about you all? Are you all seeing it?
I can see Donald I can see that there's a video to be played there, but I couldn't see it actually play. I could just hear him.
That's a shame. Well, I don't think that there's anything that I can do about that. I really thought that sharing the videos would let everybody be able to do that. Let's do it one more time. Let's see if we can have Vera.
It wasn't nothing to you, but it was something to me.
I'm going to stop there for a moment. Are you saying to me that no one can see that?
Yes.
All right, then we won't continue. We won't continue because right now I'm doing all that needs to be done and it's not showing. So right now we will go on to the scenes and we'll go live. All right? All righty. That's a shame. We'll see if we can fix that and maybe come back to it a little bit later. But at this point in time, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to go into having everyone come in for the scenes from the new play that we're doing. And the new play that we're talking about doing is called Front Porch Society by Melda Beaty. And one of the wonderful things about this piece is that it dates back to 2008. It is an election year. We are now in 2020 in an election year. It talks about on the day before and the eve of the Barack Obama election. The insecurities that we have, the questions that we have, all of those things are explored in this play. The generation gap about how all of those things are needed are also explored in this play. Now I'm going to ask the actors who are in the first scene only to be on screen, please, and everyone else to stop your video. And now I'm going to ask our narrator, Nikila Norman, to please start this portion of the webinar. Thank you.
Front Porch Society by Melda Beaty. Act 1, Scene 1. Miss Martha sits quietly on Carrie's front porch with her eyes closed. Carrie opens her front screen door, blocking her view of Miss Martha. Carrie turns and notices Miss Martha and is startled.
Miss Martha, how long you been sitting here? Miss Martha, I say, how long you been sitting here?
Oh, Carrie, when you get here?
I lives here, Miss Martha, remember? How long you been here? Who brought you this time?
Well, Joanne dropped me off about 7:30 on her way to work. You were late this morning.
Now, you know I watch Oprah in the morning.
Ooh, you cooking okra this morning?
I say I watch Oprah in the morning.
Oh, Oprah. Joanne say Oprah come on at 4. Is it 4?
No, Miss Martha, it ain't 4. I tapes it.
Oh, well, she and the other girls at the bank watch it before they go off work. But today, she says she coming to get me at 4 so we can go vote. Thought maybe you were in there writing your letters like you used to do. I ain't want to disturb you.
I ain't writing letters no more.
Say you ain't. Well, when you stop?
Just ain't doing it no more.
Well, I thought you said you was going to do it every year.
Well, I ain't.
But ain't this around the time when Ricky
Look,
had
Miss Martha, don't nobody give a damn about them letters. It was a stupid idea anyway. I just want to get through this day in peace, and I don't want to talk no more about any letters.
Got a new house coat.
No, same one I wear this day every year. I see you got that new hat on again. Don't match nothing.
Huh?
I say you're wearing your new hat again.
Yeah, I bought it from one of them men selling down there outside the Super Value. He say it looked cute on me. So I've been wearing it every day since. But today's the day I sure enough can show it off. You voting today, Carrie?
Is that today?
Yes, Lord, it's today. In all my 95 years, I never thought I would live to see the day when a black man run for the United States of America.
Well, Miss Martha, you were living when, what's that boy's name? Jesse Jackson ran.
Who?
Jesse Jackson.
Oh, this Jackson's son, oldest son down on 3rd Street. Hey, I used to teach that boy. He is not too bright.
No, Miss Martha, I'm talking about the Reverend Jesse Jackson up in Chicago. Now, he was the first black man who ran for president back in 84, 88, I think.
I don't reckon I know him.
Reckon you don't.
Hmm.
Then that fat preacher who wears his hair like a woman said something about he was going to run for president too. I could have told him wasn't nobody going to vote for a man with a bad perm. You still got that cough? Thought you said it was getting better. You been back to see Dr. Wilson yet?
Doctors don't know nothing. Just a little cold on my chest, that's all. Happens every time the seasons change. Now, I drink some of this here toddy, I'll be all right.
What in the world is that?
Oh, it's just some Robitussi, a little few spoonfuls of honey, some Jack Daniels.
Lord have mercy. How long you been drinking that stuff?
I made it last night. That goose grease that Mother Desi gave me to rub on my chest, that ain't doing nothing but oiling up my clothes. Now I drink enough of this here, and that cold just gonna melt away.
If and you say so.
Mm-hmm.
Weatherman say it's gonna be about 70 today.
Mm.
Expect I do some work in my yard.
Carrie's dogs bark as Towner enters the stage with mail.
Hush up now. I say hush up now.
Morning, Miss Martha. Morning, Miss Honey. Miss Honey, them dogs behind that fence.
Oh, don't worry, Towner. Them dogs know who to bite and who not to bite. But I bet you reckon I have a bunch of bills for me today.
Towner hands Carrie her mail. She looks through it eagerly, but quickly looks dejected. Towner holds out his hand to get something from her, but she ignores him.
I sure hope not, ma'am. Wasn't expecting you to be home today. Thought you might be up at the church voting. I heard folks been waiting for hours already.
My daughter gonna pick me up and take me to the church at 4. But Carrie says she gonna work in her yard today.
Good a day as any.
Hmm.
How your son, Towner?
Oh, real good, ma'am. He's a senior this year.
Say he is. He's still at Alcorn.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Doing real good, too. He's even training for the Olympic trials. Coach say he got the fastest feet in the state of Mississippi. Kind of remind me of me and Ricky when we was kids and we used to race from this here porch to Kroger's to get your groceries. You remember that, Miss Honey?
I remember.
I would even take off before Ricky would say go, and no matter how fast I thought I was going or how far I thought I was ahead, he always passed me. Oh, excuse me. Been fighting a sore throat for a couple of days now.
You want some of this here toddy? Gary, go and pour some of this toddy in the cup for Towner.
No, ma'am. I'll be all right. Thank you kindly.
All right.
Seems like everybody's either at work or at the polls. Me and Mrs. Towner voted weeks ago, and I'm glad we did. They expecting the largest voter turnout in the history of voting today.
Lord, I just pray they don't kill that man.
Kill him for what? He ain't the president.
No, ma'am, he ain't, but you know how white folks can be. I believe they rather see a black woman like that Shirley Chisholm in the White House before a black man. Just something about a black man that brings out fear in folks. I don't know why, because it ain't black folks, it ain't white folks we hurt. I remember when I was a little boy and my daddy used to go down there to Key West to pick fruit. He'd be gone sometimes for 6 months at a time. He'd say picking fruit was probably the most dangerous thing he ever done. Black men falling out of trees like rain from the sky. My daddy fell a couple of times himself, broke his collarbone once and didn't even know it. Just kept picking until he couldn't pick no more. But he say that's not what made it so dangerous. He always had to watch out for the other pickers who would step on their own mama just to make a dime or two more. Crabs in a barrel is what he called them. Nah, it ain't white folks we heard. But you know, I've been listening to all the debates and speeches, and I tell you, this Obama fella got folks' attention. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, young, old. Albert said the students at Alcorn started an Obama club and even went door to door registering folks to vote all over Lorman.
I hope you got time to study while you're out registering folks to vote.
Oh, yes, ma'am. He's studying all right. Mrs. Towner makes sure of that.
Well, how your wife, Towner? I heard she was sick.
I had that hip replacement surgery this summer, but she's doing fine now. Oh, I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached to my body. She told me to be sure to tell you next time I saw you that she got that lemon meringue pie ready for you whenever you want it.
Lemon what?
Lemon meringue pie.
Oh, no. Last time I ate her pie, I had the runs for days.
Lord.
Sorry to hear that, Miss Martha. I'll be sure to tell her. Well, I'd best get going. Good to see you again, Miss Martha. Miss Honey? You know what I was thinking after I voted, Miss Honey?
What's that, Towner?
I'll never forget, in the 3rd grade, the teacher asked us to write an essay on what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I wrote a policeman. Most of the other kids wrote teacher, nurse, preacher, but Ricky was the only one who wrote President of the United States. Everyone laughed when he read his essay out loud, even the teacher. Seemed like I was the only one who didn't laugh, not just because we was best friends, but because deep down I believe he could have been the president if he'd put his mind to it. Today, 50 years later, we get to vote to see if a black man will be the next president of the United States of America. Maybe he saw this day coming.
Well, we don't know what he saw, now do we?
No, ma'am, I reckon we don't.
All right now, Towner, you best get going.
Yes, ma'am. You sure you don't have nothing for me today?
No, Towner, I don't.
Okay. You ladies have a good day.
Towner exits porch.
Well, that ends the first scene of a few scenes that we're going to do from that play. I think it should whet your appetite as to why Towner keeps asking to Carrie whether she has some mail, what has happened. We are not going to tell you. You have to come back in the fall and see the entire reading of it with this cast. But as we move forward, the second scene takes us a little bit later in the day. And a character comes in that changes the whole chemistry of these people on the porch. Understand the tradition that we're talking about now, not only the tradition of voting, but the tradition of the communications on the porch. And this is where everything takes place. All of us who have Southern backgrounds know how that can happen. How that in this situation, now everyone comes up, that's how we spread our news. So ladies, if Kim and Julia would appear for us, please, so that we can now go on to the next scene. And Nikila, it is on you.
Alberta walks up.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing today?
There she is. Sister Stalwart talked about you earlier. Been missing you around here, Berta.
Ain't been that long, has it?
Ain't knowed you was gone.
Where is Sister Starworth anyway?
She inside making a phone call.
Sister Stallworth re-enters porch carrying a cordless phone.
Oh, Berta, it's good to see you. Where you been?
I went up to Chicago again for a spell to visit my nieces. You know that's where Obama lived. They took me to his neighborhood up there. Now you can't get close to the house no more, but I did get close enough to take a few pictures.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, honey, I talked to Reverend, and he said that he's still at the cemetery. Now, he said that he's going to find Deacon Robinson and give him the message. Now, I gave him your number to call you back, and I brought your phone out here so that you don't miss the call.
What's going on?
You ain't heard what happened at Leopold today?
I've been at the church helping with the voting since 7 o'clock this morning. What's going on at Leopold?
They done arrested 4 people down there for digging up graves and reselling the plots.
What you say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, now that you mention it, I did overhear some of the other workers talking about a cemetery, but I was too busy to get the whole story. Lord, I'm so thankful my husband was cremated. He didn't want to be in no ground decomposing. I'm going to be cremated too.
Cremated? That's when they burn your body? Woo! That's too much like going to hell for me.
No, Miss Martha, your body dead anyhow. Your heart ain't pumping, your brain ain't functioning. So who cares? It's your soul that matters. Now, ain't that right, Sister Stalwart?
That is the truth. But if you do choose to be buried, you have the right to rest in peace.
Whose rights we talking about? I didn't think dead people had rights.
Can we change the subject, please?
Yes, of course. So what else you doing up there in Chicago, Berta?
Well, I went to service at Obama's church.
Oh, with that crazy preacher talking on TV?
Oh, now Rev said that he ain't the preacher there no more, said he's retired.
Well, he sure enough was the preacher when Obama was there, so he must not have been too crazy.
Oh, Jeremiah Wright is his own man with his own opinions. That don't mean Obama agrees with everything he says.
Then what he joined his church for?
You'd have to ask him that, Carrie. I don't agree with everything Reverend Stalwart says. No offense, Sister Stalwart.
Oh, none taken. But Berta is right. No one agrees with their pastor 100% of the time. Now, shoot, I'm married to Rev for, 45 years, and I don't always agree with him.
I didn't agree with none of my husbands, so I just went on, got me a new one.
Well, I said I disagree with Reverend Wright. He just telling it like it is. Now, y'all know America ain't never done right by us. Then Obama sit up there and talk against his pastor in front of the world. I'd like to see y'all do that to Reverend Stalwart one Sunday morning.
No one said America been fair. We ain't forgot about slavery, lynching, segregation. Every single one of us on this here porch pick cotton. But times are different today, Carrie. Tomorrow, a black man could be the next president of the United States. Oh, I can't believe it. Y'all vote yet?
Well, Joanne's picking me up at 4 so I can vote.
Oh, Miss Martha.
What?
Oh, honey, I wish you'd have voted earlier. The polls are packed. I've been there since 7 this morning and people are still coming. I didn't even get a lunch break.
Well, Carrie got some chicken livers and cabbage in there.
Oh, Miss Martha, you know that Berta's a vegetarian.
Oh, what?
A vegetarian. She don't eat meat.
What? What meat ever done to you, Berta?
First of all, beef contains harmful levels of dioxin, which is linked to cancer, heart attacks, and blood disorders. Not to mention what its production has done to the rainforest, local economies, and all these fat kids running around here. All the mercury levels in fish these days and the mycoproteins in chicken.
Good, more chicken livers for me.
I'm just trying to live as long as I can, especially with a black president coming.
Well, you know, we stop eating meat at the church at the beginning of every year. Now, we call that the Daniel fast. There's nothing but fruits and vegetables and water for 21 days.
In the Bible.
Yes, the story of Daniel is in the Bible, honey. Now, maybe if you come back to church, you can join us the next time we fast.
Oh, I'm all right with meat and plenty of it.
To each his own. Bernie is a vegetarian now.
Oh, is that your gentleman friend?
People from? I declare I know him.
You might have taught his mom and daddy in school since he's about 20 years younger than Albert.
His people from Natchez, Miss Martha, but he live in Clarksdale. And he's not 20 years younger than me, Carrie. Besides, age ain't nothing but a number no way. Plus, I can't help it if younger men find me attractive.
Two of my husbands were younger than me, but I reckon it don't matter. So sometimes the older ones more trouble than the younger ones.
Tell me, Berta, when are you going back to the church to help out?
Oh, for a little while. A bunch of us from my aerobics class getting together later tonight to watch the election results. Now, I started to stay up in Chicago. One of my nieces got tickets to the big rally they having up there in the park when they announced the winner. But I decided to stay home in Markswood and celebrate with my friends in Bernie. Oh, but it would be nice to see Barack and Michelle and all them cute little girls in person.
I still can't believe it, that the White House gonna have a black family running around in it.
They ain't gonna let them kids tear up that White House.
Who is they, Carrie? You always hollering about they. You been to the polls yet?
Ain't sure if I'm going.
Say she was going to work in her yard today, well, before she heard about Leopold.
Your yard? Your yard can wait. You need a ride?
My car run fine.
So why you not going to vote?
Got other things on my mind today, so I ain't decided yet.
About who you're going to vote for, or if you going to vote at all.
I said I ain't made up my mind yet.
Well, you better hurry, because today is it. You miss this chance, and I don't think we gonna live to see another.
I ain't better do nothing, Alberta.
Now, see, that's what I have been trying to tell you all day, honey. Now, look, today is the day that the Lord has made, and we need to rejoice, and we need to be glad in it.
Amen.
Yeah, whether I vote or not ain't gonna make a bit of difference.
What if everybody thought like you, Carrie? Then nothing would ever change. Blacks finally got the right to vote, and you won't even use it.
Seems like that is my choice.
Well, at least think about all the black people all over the South who got sprayed with hoses and attacked by dogs so you could even have a choice. It ain't been nothing but 43 years since we've been able to vote at all. And in every one of those elections, it has been some white man running for president.
Oh, so now you gonna tell me who to vote for?
Oh, I don't think that's what you're saying, honey. I mean, it's just important that we exercise our right to vote, right? And it does help that a black man is running.
And if he was purple, should I still vote for him?
Oh, just vote, Carrie. Ain't you ready for a change? Mississippi, the poorest state in the Union. And it's gonna stay that way unless we do something about it.
What makes you think Obama gonna do something about it, huh? He don't know nothing about being poor. He don't know nothing about Mississippi or you or me. Yeah, that man got y'all fooled thinking he's gonna change the way white folks think about us and the way they treat us.
Here you go with that they again. You know what you need, Carrie? You need to stop worrying so much about what white folks think and think for yourself sometimes. White folks ain't the ones dug up them graves in Leopold.
Oh, come on, Lord. Come on, don't y'all start today.
Oh, ever since we were young girls up on Cotton Street, you always complained about something, Carrie. And if you ain't complaining, you blaming someone for something. You complain about the prices of food. You complain about the gas prices. You complain about the heat. You complain about the schools. You complain about the church. You complain about Reverend Starr.
Watch yourself, Alberta.
Anyway, and you blame everyone for everything. You blame the new mayor, the teachers, the neighbors, the police. You blame God when Ricky died.
I said watch yourself, Alberta.
No. You watch yourself, Carrie. Watch what you say and who you blame. This little society you done created in your head ain't nothing but a front porch society. God done finally sent a man to right some of these wrongs Bush done put us in. In all my 78 years, life has been a struggle. And maybe, just maybe, Obama can make life a little better for everyone, including you. If you could just put the past behind you and stop complaining about what you don't have and start being grateful for the things you do have. Now, I suppose you're going to blame Obama for what happened down at the cemetery. And another thing, you need to stop blaming the world for Ricky's death.
Carrie reaches under her seat and pulls out a handgun, stands and points it in Alberta's direction, but fires a shot in the air. The dogs go wild. End of scene.
Well, I think that ended the first act. Does that make you thirsty for wanting to see some more about our play? Good. Now, we will have 2 more subsequent scenes. They're quieter than this. They are going to be between 2 people of 2 generations. Julia, go away. Kim, go away. And Christopher should come back in again. Christopher plays Terrence. Terrence is a young man who's on the brink of his life. It's the first time that he's going to be involved in an election. And Carrie has a history that you will learn when you see the play that makes her very sympathetic to this young man. So we'll start this scene, and Nikila, it's on you.
Terrence enters.
Good evening, Miss Honey.
How do, Terrence? What you doing over here?
Oh, Mama asked me to drive around, see if anyone still needs a ride at the polls.
My car run fine.
Yes, ma'am. Are you okay, Miss Honey?
I'm fine, Terrence. You ain't still trying to get that football, are you?
No, ma'am. I got another one at home.
Don't you have some homework you need to be doing instead of running around on a school night?
I did mine already. I wanted to make sure I had time to vote.
Oh, you vote, Terrence. You ain't but 17, ain't you?
I turned 18 September 26. That was the same day Obama and McCain had that debate at Ole Miss. I registered to vote that next day. Me and my best friend, Charles, he 18 too, went to register together. We even had a mock election at school last week since most of the kids' equipment high can't vote yet. Obama won in a landslide. Shoot. Even if you don't win, at least I can say I was alive and I voted in the very first election when a black man ran for president. Did I say something wrong, Miss Honey?
Oh, Ricky. I mean, Terrence, you better get going now.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna drive around some more just in case someone still needs a ride. Just remember, Miss Honey, the polls close in 3 hours. Mama said we may never get another opportunity like this again.
The dogs begin to bark.
Hush up now. Hush up.
End of scene.
We're going to go now to one last scene. It's the final scene of the play. You may not understand all the elements that are in it. I do that on purpose because I want you to come back and I want you to see what Melda Beaty was trying to tell us all in this play. All the elements, all the political elements, all the relationship elements. Again, this is a conversation between Terrence, who's a young boy, and Carrie, who has had a lot of experiences in her life that explored in the play. But we are going to tell you the ending because maybe you'll be curious to come and find out what happens in between. Nikila?
Terrence runs past Carrie's front porch.
Miss Honey, we did it! We did it! We elected our first black president! God, can you believe it? Oh man, I haven't slept yet.
Terrence, hold on a second.
Carrie opens the screen door and comes out holding a chewed up football.
Here's your ball.
Thank you, ma'am.
Terrence?
Yes, ma'am.
You be careful over there, okay?
I will. It's a new day, Miss Honey. A new day.
Yes, it is.
Terrence exits porch. Carrie walks over to Miss Martha's chair. She remembers the shawl and places it over the chair. Then she slowly reaches into her house coat pocket and pulls out her I voted sticker and places it on the chair. End of play.
So there we have it. And we do have the playwright here She's been watching us as we've been sharing her work. I'm going to see if I can have her join us on screen. And if you have any, there we go. If you have, nope, I think I've let somebody else up. Wait a minute, sorry about that. Yes. If you have any questions, I hope that Melda will be able to answer them for you. Franz, do you have any questions that anyone has about the play? Do you want to talk about, you know, actors, how you feel, knowing the entire play and then knowing what we've done about it? Why don't we try to explore?
Don't have any questions currently, but I will come back to you as soon as something comes in.
Okay, great. All right, Melda, can you hear me? There you are. Okay, all right. Good.
Hello, hello, wonderful actors.
Hi, Melda.
Hey, Melda.
They were all right. They're all right. It's been a journey. We've been exploring your play now for about, I'd say, I guess 6 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just about.
Yeah, once a week. And we are really having a great time in this year of all of these occurrences and in this election year and in all the values and the questions about relationships, exploring how art can imitate life. I think it's so wonderful that we are exploring a part of Southern life that a lot of people don't know. I'm a New York girl, but I spent my summers in the South with my grandmother in Marianna, Florida. So the front porch is a wonderful place for me. It's great memories. I was wondering if anyone in our audience had any memories that they wanted to ask us about or tell us about in the Q&A about what this brought for them, while we also, we'll give them a chance to think about it, while we talk about really this play and what you want people to get from it in the fall when we do the entire thing, Melda.
You have, I'm sorry, you have
Yes,
two comments. One comment, great job, guys. And Helene Galek says, loved everyone's work. Had me nodding in agreement. LaWanda Ward, wonderful meeting everyone. Soror Michelle, you are phenomenal. Ever I see. So those are three comments so far.
All right.
All right.
I'm sorry to cut Melda.
We'll go back to Melda. Melda,
Yes.
Are we getting close to how you want your play to be perceived? What elements of it are we touching? What elements do we want to still see more of?
Well, definitely the emotions are very important, that they represent the times. So they represent the time in 2008 and they represent the time now in 2020. In light of what's happening in our world with injustices and killings of Black boys and Black girls, Black women, I should say, and Black men, and what those emotions evoke in us. So I think those scenes alone, if they didn't invoke them in anyone else, they did in me. Just that rage, that confusion, that pain, and even some joy, not out of those situations, but just in life in general. So I think the emotions are extremely important overall.
I think that the play covers all of that. I think we have some very joyous moments, and we have moments of recall where the lead character, Carrie, talks about a relationship that she has. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say what it is. But we explain why all of this is so very important to her, why this young man coming into her life at this point, just being a neighbor across the street, but on this particular day is very important. All of these things, and I think it does tie in. As we have thoughts, as I have thoughts, I say, of peaceful gatherings in Tulsa, Oklahoma today, as we all hope that everything is peaceful. You know, we don't
Yes.
want a reoccurrence of a massacre that we know about that took place 99 years ago. So
Right, right.
we revisit, though, all the fears and the insecurities that we have as a people. And we want to be able to talk about that in our pieces artistically. And I think that this covers that. Actors, do you have anything that you want to say, your
Well,
experiences? Yes.
Before we get to that, you've got a couple of other comments here from Gigi, who says, enjoyed so much. My dad and I enjoy the front porch every day. Love cousin Jay and all the cats. Charles Jones says, excellent, having grown up in the South. This is how folks socialized and communicated on the front porch.
Right.
Jay's cousin, Chuck Jones.
Well, there you go. Family can help you. Yes.
He says her front porch is Plainfield, New Jersey.
Wonderful.
Now, those are
Wonderful.
his actual cousins, but I always call Jay my cousin because we're Joneses.
Yes.
I'm out.
Well, you know, it is such a joy really presenting this piece because it is a part of a lot of our lives. I don't say it's everyone's experience, but a lot of us have that experience. And it's an experience that really is not shown a lot, and it's a part of our history. And so I think one of the journeys that we're trying to complete in all of this movement that we're having is that we want people to know more and understand more about us and our history. Therefore, they will understand how we digest things and how important things are to us in a certain manner. So I think that this accomplished that. And it accomplishes it, and we have to, you know, it's just a little accomplishment at a time, one little thing at a time. We're not going to make everyone know us all at once, but if everyone kind of puts a little nickel in the pocketbook, you know, maybe we'll come off with a lot of riches, I think.
Absolutely.
I have a question for Melda. Did you at all think that this would be so timely? Because it
isn't it true?
It's just so timely.
It's amazing. No, I didn't, because I didn't foresee the injustices that we're having now, never would have wanted them. So, you know, I was reminiscing on what happened with Emmett Till.
Right.
It just shows you, it just shows you how life is full circle at times, you know? So I'm honored that, you know, my piece can be, that's more widespread now in light of what's happening, more so just to shine a light on the injustices and what we need to do about them.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think it is very timely. There's so many points in it. At first we thought, well, this is about the eve of the election of, you know, Obama and how it affected so many people. But then there are a lot of issues in this play that we are dealing with today. And that were dealt with years before. And to see that we are in similar places, that we have similar fears, it's a remarkable thing. It does speak to the fact that we have to do some changing, that change has got to come. Now, how are we friends? Because you know me, I will not be defeated. I have.
No, you don't have any comments or questions, but as you know, because the video was not what you wanted it to be, you do have 2 live performances that are available to you.
I do. Now, then I'm going to, you know, earlier I was trying to give you uninterrupted representations of these 2 actresses and their work. And because that didn't work, they're going to do it live for us. I think that's absolutely fabulous. So what I'm going to do, what I have to do is, Eternanda is already among us. I'm going to find Valeska and have her come be among us. I think that should happen. And I'm going, there's Valeska now, thank you. And I'm going to ask those of you who were in Front Porch to right now hide yourselves for a minute. I want you to look at this with our audiences, and then I want to talk about the timeliness of what these pieces are talking about, mainly thinking that these are pieces that are not pieces that were written necessarily in this year. All right. The first one, Valeska, are you able to speak with me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful.
Now, yes. Am I ever going to be able to see you, or am I just going to hear you?
Yes, I wasn't sure if you were controlling it, but there
No,
I am.
yeah, there you are. Ah, lovely. No, I'm not going to. Listen, it just seems like I never control anything. Every time I think I'm controlling, it doesn't happen, but that's okay. So why don't you know what your introduction is. Introduce this piece and then do it, and then we'll talk about the other two actors who have done other characters in this piece and get you all three together talking about it before we go to Eternanda, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. All right. I'm going to go away also. I'll see you in a little bit.
Hi, everyone. My name is Valeska Cambron, and this monologue is from Charles White's play, The DePriest Tea Incident, where I play Jessie DePriest. She is Oscar DePriest's wife. He is a Negro Republican congressman from Chicago. This play takes place in 1929, and he is the first Negro representative from Chicago in the 20th century. I play, in this particular monologue, I have been resistant to the struggle of my people. And in this, I actually come through to fruition and say how much how important it is for me to actually be a part of this struggle and have a voice. So this, once again, is Charles White's The DePriest Tea Incident. This is my house, not the White House. When you are a guest here, you will not insult me or my husband because you don't agree with something we've done or you think you can do it better. I don't care how many times you meet with the president, how many books you've written, how many colleges you've run or commissions you chair. We are all in the same struggle, doing the best we can. If my contribution to the struggle, if my attendance at the White House tea is my contribution to the struggle, I am proud I was able to do it and will continue to do it every year we're here in Washington. I don't care about Senator Blease or any other Southern Democrat fighting to keep us down. I will not be humble because they think it is our place to be humble. If you have a problem with that, the door is over there.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, my darling. Don't go away. Don't go away. Now, Jay, Julia, I don't know where Julia went.
Here I am.
Oh, okay, good. Now, Jay and Julia also did a scene, another version of this. Your monologue comes from a longer version of the play, whether you all know it or not. Charles is not here today, and so I'm going to talk for him. Ooh, ooh. Charles has written several versions of this play. My favorites being, I take a little bit of them all. Favorite part of it being the relationship between Oscar DePriest and his wife. But also in the part that you wrote, that you performed, Valeska, this is a resolve toward the end when this character that you play has been not really attacked, but has had many people give her the opinions of her attending this tea party. You and Julia actually play the same character.
Yes.
It's really wonderful to have both of you actresses coming from really two different places playing this character. Tell me, both of you, what do you think about this woman today? What differences and what similarities do we have with her? I'll get to you in a minute, Jay.
Okay.
Very quickly before they start, Charles is here.
Oh, where is Charles?
He just wrote a note into the chat, so he's here. I guess you got to get him in.
Oh, all righty. All right. Oh, there he is. Okay, I can get him in. All right. This is exciting. This is like live TV. Oh, my goodness. All right, now. All right, now Charles is here. There he is. Okay, I know he's probably like, I wasn't going to be on camera, you know, but Charles, you can just talk. You don't have to be, give us your video if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm all sweaty. I'm not going to show up.
Oh, all right. But thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm talking for you, and I'm saying that these two different versions are here. You know what my prejudices are. I love the monologue that Valeska does, and I love the scene that Jay and Julia do. So I'm asking now the two actresses to tell me how they feel about approaching this, how they approach these characters, and then I want to know how you feel about it. Go on. Go right on ahead now. Go first, Julia.
Oh, okay. When I think of Jessie DePriest, I sort of think of her in terms of Martin Luther King's wife, and also the wife of Malcolm X.
So
They were both
Coretta,
married,
yes, and Betty.
the
Yes.
Coretta and
Betty
Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz,
Mhm.
because they were both married to very forceful men in their own right, and they both had a job to do, and they didn't mind ruffling feathers in their own right, which is the way I feel about my husband, Oscar. And I know that they were, and I, as Jessie DePriest, constantly worried about him. You know, that something may happen to him because of the way he does things sometimes. But also the fact that I'm coming into my own as the wife of a congressman. And I was sort of, I'm laid back to an extent, but then I have to finally take a stand. And I think Coretta and also Betty were sort of in the background, not getting too involved, keeping the home, but, supportive in their own ways. But now, because this invitation has come up, I'm being forced to deal with something that I may not want to deal with. And I have to come to grips with that. And also it's bringing me to a point, my husband is doing so much, I can't just sit by and do nothing. So whatever I decide, because I'm not going to give it away whether I go or whether I don't, whatever I decide to do, if I decide not to go, what else can I do perhaps? And then if I do go, I feel in my heart that I'm going to go on my own terms, and I'm going to be my own woman among women who don't want me there anyway, save Lou Hoover, who invited me to this tea party.
Exactly. Valeska, another point of view is that you've now been confronted. This speech is really directed to someone who is also a Negro, a prominent Negro of the time. So it brings up the fact that not only are you confronted with prejudice outside of the race that don't want you to do it, there are ingredients and energies that have opinions about you going in the first place, which still, it happens today. We all have different opinions about how we think our politicians be. What do you think about her transition? You know how conservative and passive she is. What do you think about Charles's moment that he gives her in this play?
Yeah, I think it's a really beautiful and great moment, because she has been resistant, and I think there was even some, not believing that she was even going to be invited. So this monologue comes after she has attended the tea party, and I think having that experience just really fueled her to know that she does have a voice, like she supports her husband, but at the same time she realizes after attending this tea party, she does have a voice, and it's a different way that her husband shows it. But right now she needs to actually express her feelings, because she has been told, what she should do by so many people, and nobody's really just kind of talked to her and asked her what her thoughts are. And it's gotten to the point where she's tired of people telling her what to do, and she has made up her own mind, and it's now time for her to voice that.
So we are also talking about women's rights in a play from 1929. So not only, again, we are right here in the current environment. We have plays that cover not only about the racial strife and racial injustices that we have incurred, but women's rights. Now, Jay, I will pull you in here now.
Okay.
About the women and how you felt about what you had to encounter through the dialogue, what Oscar had to deal with in 1929 when he came to Washington, D.C. And what differences do we think that there are now? I mean, how different do we think that it is?
Well, for me at least, the difference, the things that Oscar had to face, of course, were being the first of our people, being the first Negro. And note, we do say Negro here instead of Black or African American because the play takes place in 1929.
Exactly.
To be the first, the very first of our warriors, as it were, to storm the gates of a formerly all European-based government.
Yes. But previously there had been, and the more it's becoming uncovered now, and previously in Reconstruction, there were groups of Black politicians that were there, that Jim Crow had, we then had Jim Crow rules that then ousted them and prevented them to be. So this is the first one in the 20th century.
In the 20th century, yes.
We're done.
Unfortunately, the way things are today, we are still perceived as something less than. And to me, this is, to put it politely, maddening.
Yes.
You know, that we still have to be twice as prepared, twice as ready as our counterparts.
Yes.
And what I really love about Oscar is his willingness and readiness to face all this sort of prejudice that's mentioned in the scene that I have with Julia, where fellow Republicans would not take the office next to his simply because he is a Negro. And again, back then, the Republican Party was quite different from what it has turned into today, but that's another discussion for another time.
Yes, we are talking about Lincoln's Republican Party.
Yes.
You know, and I think everybody needs to know that. Everybody needs to know that the Republican Party of that era was really a party where most of the people of color were and had decided that that was the party for them. Over the years, that has changed. So, other than that, I'm going to move on. I don't want to. Let me see. I don't want to cause any longevity of our show, but I'm very, very happy. Charles, do you have anything to say?
No, the actors covered it nicely. The only thing I say is, you know, it started out when I wrote it. There were two things. Number one, I said, my God, a tea party seems so trite. Are the stakes really high enough to write about? And clearly they are when you look at what's going on now. And it started out as Oscar's story. And in the course of writing it, I discovered that I was kind of a feminist because it really became, without me consciously trying to do it, Julia, I mean, I'm not doing Julia's the other character that we haven't talked about. It became Jesse's story. Jessie has the journey. She sort of goes from a congressman's housewife to something of a powerhouse in her own right. That's the struggle, and you know, these ladies perceive that in reading those monologues and what they said. That's it.
All right. Well, I'm going to move from there, and I'm going to ask Eternanda to come in. Let me start talking about the monologue that she was going to do. Unfortunately, we don't have Donald, and so Donald won't be able to have his monologue live. But I'm going to keep on pushing. So in the fall, we're going to bring him back, and he'll be live. You know, but this particular monologue, I'm going to ask you to do what you do. Thank you. And this piece is from August Wilson, 7 guitars. And it is Vera. And I think that I've had a great deal of pleasure working with Eternanda, talking about the female side of this particular character. When characters who are very strong women are written by men sometimes and directed by men, sometimes there's another point of view. And I think that we've tried to capture it in that we have many, many sides to us. And so I think we've tried to capture some of the sides. So Eternanda?
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to go away. You introduce yourself. Tell us where you are also, and then start your work.
Okay. I'm Eternanda Fudge. I am currently in Moab, Utah. And I am going to be portraying the role of Vera from 7 Guitars. Vera is having an identity crisis. The man that she has put her identity in is no longer with her. So when that detachment happens and the male is pulled from the home, sometimes women can't find their strengths in some of the plays that have been written by some of the men over the years. So here she is in her most vulnerable moment. It wasn't nothing to you, but it was something to me. To have you just up and walk out like that, what you think happened to me? Did you ever stop to ask yourself, I wonder how Vera's doing. I wonder how she feels. I lay here every night in an empty bed, in an empty room, where someplace special, someplace where you had been. The same room you walked out of, the same bed you turned your back on, you give it up and you want it? What kind of sense did that make? You had what you wanted and I didn't. And that makes you special. You one of them special people who's supposed to have everything just the way they want. Floyd, I wanted to know where you was bruised at so I could be a woman for you, so I could touch you there, so I could spread myself all over you and know that I was a woman, that I could give a man only the things that a woman has to give and he could be satisfied. How much woman you think it make me feel to know you can't satisfy a man? So he could say, yes, Vera's a woman. That's what you say, but you never believed it. You never showed me all those places where you were a man. You went and showed Pearl Brown, and you showed her. And I don't know what she did or didn't do, but I looked up and you was back here after I had given up on you. After I had walked through an empty house for a year and a half looking for you. After I would lay myself out on that bed and search my body for your fingerprints. He touched me here. And he touched me there. And he kissed me here. And he touched me there. And he gave me here. He took from me there. And he ain't here. He ain't here. He ain't here. Quit looking for him. Quit looking for him, because he ain't here. He is there. He is there in Chicago with another woman. And all I have is a little bit of touching. A little bit of myself left. It ain't even here no more. What are you looking for? What you remember? It ain't here no more.
Well, thank you very much. Everybody come back. Well, thank you very much. Tell me, how does that feel?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on one second.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Uh-oh, yes. There we go. Yes.
Okay, that is, it is something when you put your identity in someone else and they are taken away by whatever system there is out there. We see currently how people of color are being done an injustice all over, but the Black male has been particularly targeted for a long time. And there is something, Floyd himself, there's something called what you would know as the vagrancy law. So if you were just out and about, you know, not having a job or seemingly not going anywhere, they would find a reason to lock you up. And Floyd was a victim of one of those. I mean, he cheated and he did his things, but Floyd also ultimately fell to that, you know, thing. But he
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fell to that fate. However, the woman, Vera, she didn't know her own strength without Floyd. Mm-hmm. And the sad part is the moment that detachment happens, whether it's by way of Floyd cheating or whether it's by way of the system, she could go so much further than she only knows. Yet she sits and waits for him to remind herself of the little bit that he left with her, which was a little bit of touch. Yeah.
We are back again with another play that talks about women's rights. So what I like about the plays that we've been involved in is that we really are involved in plays that concern the issues of the day. And I've been very proud to be able to work this whole season with you all because of that. We started the season doing the reading of Greenwood, and pending the discussion that we have and decisions that we have with equity, we may end the season next week doing that same reading of Greenwood.
You've got a comment. LaWanda Ward says, powerful performance, Eternanda. Thank you for sharing your talents with us.
Yes.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, we are powering down to do one more thing if we are able to, and then break for the summer. And then next fall, we have the reading of Melda's play, the reading of Janine's play, possibly, and we will see what the current events bring. We don't know what the theater is going to be like. All we can do is stay in hope and prayer, and make sure that, you know, we stay on top of our chops so that we can be prepared to do the work that we want to do. But we will let you know, those of you who have, you know, are so loyal and always tune in. We have a lot of lovely people today, and if you have anything that you want to say, I think you better say it quickly, because, you know, we're probably going to end this now. Before I do anything that's going to mess up this live performance. I know, my actors are going, now, Lenny, don't mess it up, you know. I just want to thank them. I want to thank you for coming and listening to our voice. We are a different voice, a different point of view. And we hope to bring you more, if not this season, next season, either this way or live. Yes.
Lane Gillette wants to say applause, applause.
Thank you, Helene. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we applaud all the audience that has really hung in there with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have anything to say before I close this out? Oh, silence. That's good. Oh, really?
Well, Michelle says, great work, all of you, from Susan McWilliams.
Oh,
hey, Susan.
Well, say hello to all your friends. Say, I thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for, look out for the announcements of us doing some more things. Tell your friends. We welcome to have an audience who really is enjoying what we're doing. We work a great deal to try to do that. All right. I thank you, Melda. I thank you, Charles, for your work. I think Celeste Bedford Walker is in our audience. I know I'm not going to bother because, she might kill me if I make her do, if I make her say anything. But it is Celeste whose play, it's Celeste Bedford Walker's Greenwood that we might be doing. So no, I think she must have had to go to another situation. But we will see how that all works out in the next couple of days. And we wish you all peace, health. Let us pray always for hope and that everything works out well in our country in the next few days and months ahead. All right. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for coming. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.